You know what you should do? You should follow me on Twitter at Bromo018. Link in the description. Do it now. So last year, I began uploading FIFA 19 wishlist videos that ranged from career mode to new leagues and divisions. And they seemed to go down really well. So I thought, why not go again this year? Seeing as none of the improvements I suggested were added, in fact, seeing as nothing at all was added, then it's worth going again. However, this time around, I've refined and tuned my suggestions for each part, removing parts that perhaps were a little too far and then making small additions here and there where perhaps I missed out last time around. So with that in mind, we begin this series with the first part of my FIFA 20 Manager Career Mode Wishlist. As always, be sure to leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below and anything that you'd like to see changed. However, please remember that this is only the first part and there are other subjects that I'm going to go into in the next videos. So on that note, it's time to begin. A quick reminder that after putting out a video recently about my next career mode series, the vote ended with Ajax of the Eredivisie winning, meaning that I'll be starting a realistic Ajax career mode series very soon. If you're watching this further on down the line, then it'll already be out, so be sure to head over to my channel and check it out at some point. So I've decided that the structure for this wish list will be going through in chronological order, e.g. the order in which we encounter the problems. However, there's one wish that I have to put at the very start of this list for sheer demand, and that's to change the length of career mode. For those of you who don't know, career mode actually only has a length of 15 seasons, after which you're forced to retire and the save ceases to exist. This is extremely outdated in my opinion. Why would there be a limit? You have regens coming in every season to fill in the database, so there's no reason why it can't simply be unlimited years, similar to something like Football Manager. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but it makes the whole experience for me feel a bit pointless, because what's the need if there is a small limit? You can sign a 16-year-old regen from your youth academy in the first season and you won't even see him retire, because you'll be forced to retire when he's 30 or 31. So this, for me, is the very first issue that needs to be addressed before anything. Now, moving on to order of encounters, I first want to talk about manager customization. This is one of the things that the player comes across when starting a career mode. You get a selection of avatars that, let's face it, judging by the general demographic of people that play FIFA, most of which won't even be used. You also get the choice between either a suit, a shirt, and a tie or a tracksuit. However, you can't customise them. My suggestions for vastly improving this part is, for one, to incorporate the game face feature so that your manager avatar can be personalised to you. I mean, this has gone missing over the most recent versions of FIFA for reasons unknown, but EA already have the technology available to them, and it may have even been improved upon over recent years, so why not utilise it? This then leads into the second suggested improvement, which is to have a free design menu for your manager, much like the one you get when creating a player. This will enable you to be able to alter all aspects of the avatar, giving you total freedom to create the person that you want to create. Then for it to be available throughout career mode so that you can change it at any point. Coming back onto the attire issue, I'd like to see a free clothing design palette, so to speak, when you can change your clothes freely. For example, some of you might want a regular suit, some may want a coat over the top in true Arsene Wenger style, some may have a tracksuit, or maybe you prefer a shirt and tie with a jumper over the top. There are a whole range of different styles that managers across the world have, and I desperately want to see that incorporated into career mode to really give player both freedom and a feel that it is truly their character. You can then edit the colours of the clothes to whatever you want, perhaps changing them to the colour of the club you're manager of at that time. And finally, for manager customization, for those of you that don't really fancy the effort of customizing your own manager, then just more pre-made avatar designs for the people that don't really want to put in that time. As alluded to earlier, the selection is very poor, and I doubt that even more than 3 of the selection are ever used. So let's give something to people on both sides. Now, something that doesn't quite fall under manager customization, but is along those lines, is being able to take over as the real manager. E.g., if people start as Manchester City, they have the option to, instead of creating a new manager, just play as Pep Guardiola. I mean, I don't really see what the problem would be in this regard. They have the image rights as some managers and they are licensed in the game, so you may as well make use of them. Next, we move on to management options section, which is tough to explain, but you'll see what I mean when we get into it. First up, I'd like the option to start out unemployed rather than being forced to pick a team. Then, as the season rolls on, you apply for jobs as you look to find the right fit. This would help for people on Road to Glory saves who truly want to start at the bottom and work their way up. Leading on from that, I also want a feature to be included in which you can start as a national team manager and can be a purely national team manager throughout career mode, rather than having to be in charge of a club team as well. Sometimes you just want to play international football on career, but it's always hindered by your club duties. I mean, can any of you name a manager that, as of right now, is in charge of both a club and a national team? Fair play if so, because I can't think of any. Next up on the list is having the ability to negotiate your contract and, should you choose to, leave as a free agent when it expires. You would then be able to spend some time without a club and take as much time as you want to find a new one, perhaps waiting for the right opportunity. This would give us as the player a truly immersive experience, as you really feel you're in complete control and it essentially goes at your own pace. Not like now where you're forced to always be in charge of a club. In terms of negotiating your contracts, you can try to haggle on both the wage and the length of years. There doesn't have to be much to this, but the higher the wage and the longer the contract, the more job security you have because of the money that it would cost for the board to sack you. I know that some of you watching this will be quick to point out that this sort of stuff is already in the Football Manager series. Yes, absolutely. Plenty of these suggestions will be features that Sports Interactive have already implemented into their game. The depth of it is on a whole other level compared to the pathetic attempt from EA Sports that is career mode. That rounds off management options. Next, we move on to club customization. However, this is more along the lines of career customization. Call it what you will. It's essentially when you're about to enter your career mode for the first time and this screen comes up. For a start, I'd like to bring back an option here for board difficulty. Remember back in the days when we were given this option and you could select strict, moderate or easy? Then they'd change your transfer budget along those lines? Well, I'm looking for something like this. The settings could be easy, normal, hard, very hard. This would not only dictate your transfer budget, but also the level of toughness of objectives that the board set, and also the likelihood that they might sack you if these things aren't going your way. This would enable everyone to be able to tailor the experience to how they really want to play. So for those of us that really want the true challenge, we'd go for the likes of hard and very hard. Whereas if you're someone that perhaps isn't really looking to go too in depth, and you simply want a light-hearted career mode experience that you can enjoy without the pressure to meet objectives and a higher transfer budget, then easy will be for you. Next, one feature that I think would be really good, which would add something else for those of us that appreciate realism and a challenge, would be a switch whilst you're on the settings screen to on or off league rules. Now, what I mean by this is the likes of transfer and foreign player policies. For example, in the Chinese Super League, they have a rule of only 4 foreign players in the squad, and all goalkeepers have to be from China. In the MLS, they actually have a complex salary cap system, so you can only spend so much on wages. It would be good if 1, these were incorporated into the game, and 2, if you could turn them on or off at the start, because then, as I said previously, it gives both sets of people the chance to tailor the game mode to how they want it to be. If you want something light-hearted, or you want an experience tailored around realism and the challenges of modern football management. Finally, I know this is a feature that has been heavily requested from the Career Mode fanbase over the years, and I completely agree with it. What wouldn't go amiss is having a feature available where you can change your club's stadium midway through the save. This is so when you're playing a Road to Glory save, you're not playing a Champions League semi-final in the 10,000 capacity Crown Lane Stadium. It really takes a shine away from the moment, in my opinion. Well, that rounds off part 1 of the wish list. I really do hope that you guys have enjoyed it so far, and come back for part 2, where we'll be discussing training, board objectives, press conferences and more. Please be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more regular gaming content from the likes of FIFA, PES and more. On that note, it's time to end it there. I'm Bromo18, and I'll see you soon.